That was about like him and Diddy were beefing.
Drake is right now. That's all I got. That's all I have to say. He's putting in his work. I didn't do nothing to Drake. Drake is my friend.
All of these big deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or...
That was about like him and him and Diddy were beefing. Drake is right now. That's all I got. That's all I have to say. He's putting in his work. I didn't do nothing to Drake. We not Drake is my friend. All of these big deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you are. It seems not just Diddy, but Drake is also catching heat in 2025 as Katt Williams reveals how Drake is involved in Diddy's tape. Back on beat, turned around. Make sure you didn't even see a second of embarrassment. But I was scared. Katt Williams might have been onto something more. And more rappers are being dragged into some messy stuff. And now Drake's name has popped up in those infamous Diddy tapes. Because in 30 years I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets. At first, it might sound too crazy to believe, but when you start connecting all the dots from way back, like 2014 back, it doesn't feel so far-fetched anymore. This whole Diddy situation, it's got layers, and for the first time, all those old rumors are starting to make sense. Is only one that I could come up with, and there's a few I could come up with. Will Smith, he's bigger than Diddy, I would think. Let's rewind to the early morning hours of December 8th, 2014 at the VMA afterparty. Diddy and Drake reportedly got into a serious altercation. According to several outlets, Diddy caught Drake outside the club, and things got real physical. So much so that Drake allegedly ended up in the ER. If you can't be, right? And I can, and I'm like shooting at you, and I got all these guns, and I'm shooting at you, but you just won't die, right? But I'm able. Insiders claim it all started when the game claimed that Diddy once put out a hit on Drake and said there were even physical altercations between the two. So, with everything that's coming to light now, Drake's cryptic Big Short quote might not be so random. After all, it could be his way of drawing a line and saying, I was never a part of that crowd. Drake and Diddy's rocky history goes way back to 2014. Things first got heated when a clip of Drake snatching a mic from Diddy mid-performance went viral. Then came the drama over the 0 to 100 beat Diddy believed was his. Drake used it, and that only added fuel to the fire over a something in Miami outside like I think Diddy allegedly him or something. If for those of you who don't know what happened back in 2014, things got real heated between Diddy and Drake during a night out at the LIV nightclub in Miami. Both of them had showed up for DJ Khaled's birthday bash, the one dubbed the Temple during Art Basel week. What was supposed to be a lit celebration quickly turned into a tense face-off. Diddy would have deal with that beat. It's like a Drake beat. But there were like calls, going around LA, and it was like, Drake here, Drake there. Who will run up on him? I'm not. According to reports from the Miami New Times, the two heavyweights got into an argument that ended on a pretty intense note. Diddy reportedly told Drake, "You will not disrespect me," before allegedly landing a punch. Yeah, it was one of those nights where the party mood flipped fast. At first, everyone assumed Diddy punched Drake over Cassie, who was dating Diddy at the time. To many people, it sounded like classic jealousy drama, right? But Sam Snake, who was actually there, jumped on Twitter to set the record straight. It definitely wasn't about Cassie. So what really sparked the fight? Word is it was all about business, specifically money and music. Witnesses say the tension had to do with who owned the rights to a song and the profits that would come from it. Basically, both of them wanted a bigger piece of the pie. And things got physical. Diddy later tried to smooth it over like nothing happened on air. He said, "I did not put hands on Drake. Oh, and I do not want any problems with Drake. Drake is right now. That's all I got. That's all I have to say. He's putting in his work. I didn't do nothing to Drake." But let's be real, people weren't exactly buying that. Reports and eyewitnesses were already painting a different picture. Historically, we've heard about you putting hands on people throughout the years. Like, what made you put hands on Drake? I did not put hands on Drake. Oh, and I do not want any problems with Drake. Drake is right now. That's all I got. That's all I have to say. He's putting in his work. I didn't do nothing to Drake. Allegedly, this whole thing started because of the 0 to 100 beat. Diddy believed the beat was meant for him, But Drake got to it first, dropped a track, and blew it up. That didn't sit well with Diddy, and the Miami showdown was the result. Anger management issues, man. Temper. Oh man. I mean, one of the things is just being more of a human being. And fast forward to August 2015. Diddy sat down with the Breakfast Club and said everything was cool between them. But behind closed doors, word in LA was that Diddy had supposedly put a quiet bounty on Drake. Like if someone spotted him around the city, there was money to be made. People started making calls like, Drake's at this spot. He's over there. It got serious. Honestly, Drake is actually my favorite rapper. You know what I'm saying? As far as Drake clearly not taking any chances, made a power move. He linked up with the game, someone who was deep in the LA streets and knew how to navigate all that heat. From what the game later hinted at, folks did approach him about setting Drake up. Instead, he had Drake's back. But that kind of protection, it came with a price. That's when Drake gave him the track 100. They even shot the video in Compton. Not for street cred, but for security. And if you listen to Game's lyrics, he spells it out. Ninjas called me to set you up. Want me to come and wet you up 'cause you out of town too like Biggie. Then heard about the ish Diddy on. So I came through to vest you up. Basically, he flipped the script and said, sure, Drake was good. Still, with even all that, Drake was on edge. During the video shoot, Wack 100 said Drake got spooked when he saw a group of unfamiliar faces. He panicked, jumped into a van, and tried to leave. Turns out those guys were there to protect him. Wack had to calm him down and get him back on set. That even there was a clip of you at a yeah. It was 0 to 100 was initially a record that was my record, and then there's somehow that became just a misunderstanding 'cause we was working with the same producers honest. What once felt like rap beef drama is now looking like a real-life thriller. And as more stuff comes to light, it seems like Drake was in deeper than most people realized. However, on September 23rd, Drake quietly stirred the pot with a not-so-subtle post from one of his lesser-known burner accounts. He shared a screenshot from The Big Short 2015 featuring Ryan Gosling's character saying, I never hung out with these idiots after work ever. I had fashion friends. Drake's latest post is just another classic Drake move, dropping a cryptic pop culture reference that has everyone talking. He's known for using subtle jabs and clever timing to make a point without ever saying too much. And this time, fans think he's sending a clear message. He wasn't hanging around for Diddy's wild parties back in the day. Now, the timing of this post is raising eyebrows, especially since it dropped right when the internet's buzzing would talk about certain rappers possibly being involved in Diddy's alleged freak-off parties. The timing of the post, combined with everything coming out about those infamous freak-off parties, has people thinking Drake is distancing himself from that whole scene. Word is those parties weren't just harmless fun. They allegedly turned dark with disturbing and bad-ass behavior once the night wore on. And Drake seems to be making it clear he wanted no part of that. Fast forward to now and stories about Diddy's alleged bad behavior are bubbling back up, especially with everything going on in court. After being arrested in New York on serious charges like ST and racketeering, Diddy's been denied bail. A federal judge made the call after hearing arguments from both legal teams, which means he's staying locked up while this high-profile case plays out. On September 17th, things took a serious turn when Diddy's 14-page indictment was unsealed, laying bare the dark accusations against the music mogul. He's facing some heavy federal charges, including racketeering, conspiracy, ST by force, fraud, or coercion, and transporting people for P. According to court documents, Diddy allegedly used his companies to bankroll and organize so-called freak-offs, disturbing gatherings where victims were reportedly deed and placed in badass situations. As expected, the internet exploded, and it wasn't just fans reacting. Big names in the industry have also been weighing in. Drake made his stance pretty clear with that subtle Big Short post, but others were far less subtle. Soulja Boy, for instance, didn't hold back on X, saying he would have K'd Diddy if he ever tried him like any of these gay rappers. Meanwhile, 50 Cent, who's never missed a chance to troll, took aim at the 1,000 bottles of lube reportedly found during a raid on Diddy's home, turning the whole thing into meme material. Not just Katt Williams, but Charlemagne the God, Boozy Badass, and others have also shared their takes, showing just how deeply this story is rocking the industry. And with the details still unfolding, it's clear the fallout is far from over. But that's not all. Remember when Katt Williams said a bunch of major names were on those Diddy tapes?